So yeah, with this thing I'm going to show you, you can use this for stress or anxiety or anything, but great for craving. So so let's say we've got a one or a two left inside your body, and it might be that the mental thing saying I want one. Can you give it a sort of like a name, like a word, like it might be this stress or this want, so something like that. Give it
What
a
do
give
you
it a
mean,
word.
sorry?
The feeling that you've got, the part of you that's saying, hang on, I still want a cigarette, or
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so that part, what would you call it?
Niggle.
Niggle, oh, I like that. Okay. So yeah, so with this niggle, so we're gonna essentially tap out this niggle. Okay, so again, that niggle will have like a mental energy for in your mind. Um, so it's a little bit like Chinese medicine where we're following acupuncture points, but obviously we're not going to be using any needles. But Chinese medicine use energy points, and they believe that by tapping or acupuncture, it can shift energies. And I don't know. I've not practiced it, but I'm just going to show you something that I've been shown and that works brilliantly a lot of the time. And you may find that the bilateral one is all you need, but you may find this useful as well. So you've got a couple of tools that you can use. So first place, the first line is going to be the top of the head. And all I want you to do is you can either do it flat like that or like that, and just tap gently. And you can even just do this 50 times and not do any of the other thing. And you just say this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle. You can say it with me. I know it feels ridiculous. Don't do this in public, obviously, but this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle,
Cool.
this niggle. Okay, so you do the ear. So you do that about, I don't know, about 5 or 10 times. There's two ways. You can just do the top one about 50 times, or you can do this 5 point one. Okay, and then you go into the middle of the forehead. This niggle, this
Niggle,
niggle, this niggle, this
niggle,
niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle. Again above the eye. And again, it doesn't matter which side, so just above the eye, this niggle,
okay.
this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, under the eye, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle, this niggle. Fifth point is just below the collarbone, this niggle, 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 and then thumb and finger around the wrist, and then just say something like peace or calm. I think peace, because that's what you want. So just say peace and breathe out. And then just check in on yourself. Think, right, well, where am I now with that niggle? How much do I want a cigarette right now?
No, I don't want one.
You don't want one?
I don't
Brilliant.
want one. No, no, no. I feel like I could have one if
Yeah,
I wasn't being strong, but
yeah. But you don't actually want one. Well,
oh no,
that's,
I don't want one.
yeah,
No.
that's brilliant. So say you come back, you thought, oh, still a bit. Then you think, well, what is that word now? What is it feeling now? And then you just keep tapping it out. Like it might be insistent, insistent. So you still got, yeah, I still want one. Insistent, 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 insistent. Piece, and you just keep doing it, and you think how, like, all right. So say you were starting at 7, think I really, really want one. Kids have, I've been narky at the children. I'm annoyed at myself. I feel stressed. I just, but so whatever is going on, then take a moment. How do I feel? What do I feel? And then you just start. So you're just taking control of your feelings. So rather than handing over the control, thinking something else externally is going to resolve my problem, which you know is not resolving your problem, you're going to just take a moment to just. This is if you have cravings, all right.
Yeah,
As I said to you, after the session, you might not have any cravings at all.
yeah.
Okay, and let's go for that because that's what the expectation. But if that's not the case, even if you have a thought and you're not happy with the thought, even if it crosses your mind, then you've got a couple of ways of dealing with it. Okay, because it is different for everyone. I said to you, I've not I did make that decision when I did self hypnosis, and I was okay. I was actually fine, but there has been occasions that I've had to use mental tools, like when I was with my friends, particularly socializing, particularly those first couple of times. If I've had a fight with my husband, I will generally want that will go through my mind, because it's what I did for years. Was if I'm upset or angry, that would be what I did. So it's good to have tools. Right, let's do. I can't remember. Did you say you have had hypnosis or not?
Yes, for spiders.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll still do a few little bits on you just before we do just for the fun of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right, and then we'll do the hypnosis. All right, so let's do the first one. This is just to show you that all I need you to do is follow instructions, and you will go into a nice hypnotic trance. So if you put your hands together like that, with your fingers over your thumbs and your palms close together, that's it. And then put your first two fingers up, so there's a gap of an inch in between. That's it. Now lock your elbows like you're making a desperate prayer. Make sure you've got a gap of an inch. That's it. All right. Now stare at that gap in between your fingers. Just stare at that gap. That's right. That's it. Perfect. And just imagine your fingers like two magnets pulling your fingers together, because in a moment they're going to touch. They're going to be like two magnets pulling your fingers together. That's right. I know it feels kind of weird. And they are going to touch any second now. Funny, isn't it? It's quite relief. It's funny, and it's also quite a relief to know that you can just let go of
Yeah.
of holding on to your conscious mind and just go with it. And you can just close your eyes and just breathe in good thoughts and just allow yourself to relax. So you're perfectly safe, and we're gonna have some fun, and you're gonna find this easy anyway. You are gonna find this easy. You can enjoy it because you're gonna be reminded of your superpower, your unconscious mind. And when you just starts to squeeze your fingers together really tightly as you listen to my voice. And as you listen to my voice, you can just breathe in good thoughts and just breathe out any doubts. And as you listen to my voice, and as you continue to squeeze your fingers, I want you just to see the face of the person you love most on this planet. Now, obviously, if there's more than one, you can see more than one. See their faces, see them smiling, hear their voices, hear them laughing. Feel the love that you feel for whoever it is you're seeing. And as you feel that love, and you feel the love that they feel for you, just notice that your fingers are becoming stuck. Fingers are becoming locked. They're becoming like stuck down, like they've been super glued, like they're completely stuck together. They're completely stuck. And when you try and pull them apart, you realize you cannot. And in fact, the more you try, the more stuck they become. And it can feel sort of strange. And you can feel very strange as they stick together, like they've been carved out of one piece of wood, like they're just completely beautifully together. As you continue to see the face of the people you love most, and your fingers are becoming more stuck, as you're squeezing your fingers together and they become stuck. And you can try now and pull them apart and realize it get more stuck as more you try. And it can feel kind of nice when you can let go and enjoy that feeling. And understand that you're going to find it easy today to stop smoking. And we're going to do the session now, because we're not, is this hypnosis? I don't even know, but you're going to stop smoking today, and it's going to be pleasurable, it's going to be enjoyable, it's going to make you feel good, and it's going to give you extra long life and your children, and it's going to be a wonderful experience. And in a moment, I clap my hands, your fingers are going to become unstuck, and you can just let your hands move down. 1, 2, 3, fingers unstuck. How was that?
Nice.
It is quite nice, isn't it? It is
Yeah.
quite nice. And I think the reason I like to start with that is because obviously you know completely what's happening, and you realise it's your own unconscious mind. It's not me doing anything to you. It never is. It's a complete collaboration. And I think it's just to dispel, because I think some people think, oh, hang on, I knew what you were saying. Does that mean it hasn't worked? It's not like that. You might wander off and forget everything I've said, like a dull conversation, because it's can get quite boring.
Well, this is what I was saying. My mind wanders, and I worry that I'm concentrating too much on what you're saying and that I've forgotten what you're saying.
But that's all right, because I'm not bothered about your conscious mind at all. I'm not even talking to your conscious mind. I'm talking to your unconscious mind. So it's all right. Did you say you've got ADHD?
I'm not diagnosed ADHD,
Yeah.
only through
What
symptoms, and
people tell
people are
you, and people,
telling
yeah,
me like, "Oh, I think you've got,"
yeah,
and I'm like, "No,
yeah. I've got that.
you know."
I get that all the time, and it's probably, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think there are obviously some people that have some symptoms so severely that they have to get medication
Yeah,
for it. So
yeah,
I feel like if I'm not in that place, and I don't find it that useful, it just becomes, yeah. But in terms of your conscious mind and um, wandering, your mind wandering here and there, don't worry about it. It really doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
so it doesn't mean you cannot do this wrong. You can't do this wrong at all.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not really speaking to your conscious mind, and you can concentrate, and it really doesn't matter if you forget everything I've said. It really doesn't.
Okay.
I was doing a group weight loss with the group last week, and her husband, who wasn't even in the room, lost lost 4 kilos that week just from
No.
just from hearing it in the next room. That's bizarre, isn't it?
Oh my
Really,
gosh.
yeah, really interesting. So and you do hear about people that didn't care about giving up smoking. They've gone along with a friend, and they've ended up stopping,
Mm,
even though that hadn't been their intention. I mean, so anyway, don't worry about
yeah.
your state. Okay, all right. Let's do one more, and then we'll get into
Okay.
hypnosis. All right. So right, so this is similar to magnetic hands, where you're using your imagination. So if you put your hands out like that, they're about 6 inches apart, and you can do this. So this time you can do this with your eye closed. I just want you to imagine that those two hands are like powerful magnets. They're like powerful magnets, and they're putting your hands together. And I don't want you to force them together just to please me, but equally I don't want you to resist. I just want you to feel that energy in between your hands. Imagine that you've got powerful magnets and they're pulling your hands together, because your hands will move together and they will touch. And when they touch, I want you to allow that feeling of confidence in yourself and in your abilities to make changes grow, because you are already creating incredible changes. You've already created incredible change this morning. So let that magnetism, let that energy compel as you imagine those two magnets pulling your hands together. And when your hands touch, I want you just to let a wave of relaxation travel all the way from your body, from your head all the way down to your toes, making you feel really good. And the more your hands move together, the better it feels, and the better it feels, the quicker they move together, that momentum building up. And I can't actually even see your hands, so when they do touch, you can just let them drop down or float down. Perfect. Oh, they already done that. Okay. And that shows me you've got a great imagination, and you can open your eyes and just feeling comfortable and calm. So yeah, so again, that's just to really illustrate hypnosis is really a state of imagination, and all the time what we imagine we make happen. There's another one I'm not going to do because you clearly don't need it. You had hypnosis before. You're complying, and by complying I don't mean doing what I say. I mean just being open to follow those instructions, because you will go into trance and then you will experience hypnosis. But these are really just to show imagination, because when in terms of you wanting in the past wanting cigarettes, you're imagining yourself in the future relaxing with a cigarette. You're imagining that place of calm you wanted to get to, and you're thinking that's going to help me. And that, regardless, the role of our imagination helps us or doesn't help us in every single situation. So same as people who binge eat, they'll be visualizing themselves going to the cupboard on some unconscious level before they're even doing it. Whereas if you start imagining yourself being happy, not because probably up until now you've always thought, oh, I'm going to stop smoking, and then imagine yourself struggling, imagine yourself being stressed by it, and just thinking, no, actually. And this just demonstrates really when you start imagining what you imagine with your hand, with your body happens, whether it's like even injury and bad health. A lot of the times, we manifest things worse off or better. You're into manifestation. It's all the same thing. You're going to allow yourself to make this easy by imagining yourself coping with this really, really well. And just imagine the surprise of your children, rather than having mum saying, oh, I want you to be really, really good because I'm struggling. Because you're not struggling. You're not struggling. You can cope with them. You don't need. They don't need to change because you've changed. No one's going to need to change around you because you have changed. What you've changed is your desire to smoke. You don't want to smoke anymore. You don't want to smoke. You want to live longer. You want to be beautiful for longer, and you want to save some money in the process. That's what you want. And when you imagine yourself finding that easy, and finding yourself being able to finding different solutions when you have times of stress, because there are going to be times of stress and challenge, and what you just sort of imagine yourself dealing with things in a different way than you've ever dealt with them before, and as a result of that, you're going to have growth in all other areas of your life. Because I've just made a massive fundamental change the way I was dealing with really difficult emotions like stress and sadness and anger. I mean, my husband, when he has always, when we've had I said to you, I used to smoke. He used to tidy up when we had a fight. Not always, but there were some times where we'd have a big fight and he'd go and tidy up, and I'd really get resentful of it. How can you do productive things when you're angry? It really annoyed me. But actually, I do that now. I thought not always,
If
but there
that
are
was the case, I'd be arguing all the time.
yeah. So it's just like so. I thought, what amazing growth to be able to do
Yeah,
something productive with your anger. Yeah. So that's something I definitely do more often. Not big anger, but like narky arguments where I've been pissed off. Where even like at one time I'd have been pissed off and I'd have made that pissed offness escalate into like self sabotaging in other areas. Whereas now I think no, fucking hell, do the dishes. Whatever. So yeah. So yes, you can start doing that, imagining yourself dealing with those stress and the challenging things with, how old is your youngest again?
5.
Yeah, so that's it is challenging. It's a kind of, 3 with youngest is 5. It's non-stop. It is
Yeah.
but you can do it, and you can do it happily and joyfully. And every time you get a challenge that you don't resort to from smoking, you think, amazing, I'm amazing. I'm amazing, and you're going to feel invincible. And it's true, because you are, and you've got like all this life energy. You're young, you're making this change. You can, it's such a good time for you to make this change.
Mm.
Okay, so are you ready to do the hypnosis?
I'm ready.
Excellent. So in this, I'm going to speak to that part of you, and it might feel a bit weird, the unconscious part of you that smokes, because obviously the conscious part of you knows it's a not very it's a bad habit and you don't want to do it. You've known that for a long time, but unconsciously there's a part of it that's getting something from it, whether it's stress relief or I don't know what it is. I mean, you might have some ideas, and it probably changes.
I
What do
think
you
it just depends, doesn't it? I mean, it's mostly emotional state and boredom,
Yeah,
and 5 minutes peace. So I don't really know what it
which
is.
one? So it's probably all of those, isn't
It
it?
is all of them, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and that's understandable. That's all of them. I mean, I think that's probably the same for a lot of smokers. Most smokers, there's more than one. I certainly ticked all the boxes when I was smoking. Um, so what we'll do in the hypnosis, I'm going to speak to that part of your unconscious mind that runs that habit. The part of you that when you're upset, you go and pick a cigarette, or where you're bored and you're filling in time, and ask that part of your unconscious that runs the habit. So can you find something else to do? And so I want to be able to see a part of your body. Either you can nod your head like that, or you can wave a finger like that, and
Like,
yeah,
okay,
it can be, yeah. So I'm going to have your hand like that, and it may be that you just wag a finger quite a big movement, so I can see on screen, and that way your unconscious mind knows that I'm respecting it and it's
okay,
listening to it, and it's not just like telling it what to do, because obviously, and most smokers, there's a part of them that will not do what they're told, because it's also a rebellious thing, isn't it? For a lot of people, start smoking as an act of rebellion or independence, and there's that part of them that's like, I'll do what I want, actually, or anti-authority, or
yeah,
so that bit of the unconscious isn't necessarily going to respond to someone saying, right, stop smoking now, uh,
yeah.
but might respond to, what do you want to do instead of that shitty habit that's been killing you? What do you want to do instead of that? What's going to make you feel calm and happy and peaceful, that isn't smoking, right?
Do you want me
So
to close my eyes and do you want me to
you
describe
will
to
do in a
you?
minute. We're going to start off with your eyes open, and then
Okay,
yeah, then you will close your eyes.
okay.
And so all I want you to do to start off with, this is just called an induction. It's just really to fixate your attention and get me communicating with your unconscious mind, really. And it's going to feel, well, I've already been doing that. Even with that, that's me already communicating with your unconscious mind to establish that we're going to be good. All right. So if you have your hand facing away from you, and I want you just to find a point on your hand, and just find a spot or a line if you can. If you've got any distinguishing features, I've got loads on my hand, but you might find you've just got, I don't know, something. If you've got any mark on your fingers or hands, if you're not too unblemished.
Found one.
Show off. Found one.
Now, if it was on my face, I'd find loads.
All right, so just have the hand a little bit away from you and just look, fixate your attention on it. That's it. And actually maybe have your hand a little bit closer, so maybe about 6 inches away from your face. That's it. That's it. And just really fixate your attention on that mark now. And just notice the colour, perhaps any patterns around it, or the skin, or the texture of the skin, the colour of the skin. That's right. As you really begin to lock your attention on that mark, you can even become aware of the way your fingers are sort of being held in the air and how that hand feels different from the other hand that's flat on your legs. And as you fixate your attention on that mark, I want you just to relax as you listen to my voice and understand that although I'm talking to you, I'm not really talking to you. I'm not talking to your conscious mind. I'm talking to that hand. I'm talking to that hand that's in the air. I'm talking to your unconscious mind. I'm talking to Kylie's unconscious mind. And when Kylie's unconscious mind is ready to let me talk and communicate with it and see if what we can do to help Kylie stop smoking and make it enjoyable and fun, I want that hand to begin to move towards Kylie's forehead at its own speed and time. That's right, fingers already beginning to twitch. That's right. And you're doing this perfectly. And you can trust your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind has incredible powers. The conscious mind is fantastic and has its abilities to analyze and conceptualize and break things down. But your unconscious mind is able to record everything that's ever happened to you, everything, every situation, every feeling, every emotion. That's an incredible space that it occupies. And some people believe that our unconscious minds are all connected like super speed highways. You can plug in, that's right, fingers are twitching, and you can just continue to trust your unconscious mind as those fingers begin to move towards your head. In a very relaxing way to just let go and trust your unconscious mind to take you where it needs to go. And fingers twitching. That's right. I know it feels sort of strange. You can just relax into it. Trust yourself. Trust the feelings. And let that hand lead you. That hand relax into this space and time. That's right, moving very slightly towards your forehead, so fingers are pointing more towards you. That's right. Fingers moving. Let your breath take a nice slow inhale and then exhale. Let every breath take you deeper relaxed now. That's right, let thoughts drift, colours drift through your mind, in and out. Let them do their wandering. You don't need to stop your thoughts, it's fine to let them do their thing. You can move at any point you want. It will only allow you to just get deeper relaxed. If at any point you need to change your position, it's going to allow you to become more comfortable, feeling more safe, more relaxed. And if you want to shut your eyes and focus on the movement and the feeling, you can. Or if you prefer to continue to fixate all your attention on those slight trembling movements of your fingers that seem so strange, that this is a way that your unconscious mind chooses to communicate with you. And sometimes people's hands speak in voices, which can be really odd. You can trust your unconscious mind. That's right. Let every word I say take you deeper inside now. Every breath take you deeper. That's right. And if you want to just close your eyes and let your fingers and hands, just let it go. Just let Anywhere you've been holding tension, that's right, just let it go so you can float all the way down now into a very peaceful trance. That's right. And you now can just let that breath of yours go to all the places, in your lungs and your heart. Every breath take you deeper now. With your eyes closed, you can continue to relax. Nobody's wanting anything from you. Nobody's expecting anything. You just see this as a complete time out. With your eyes closed, as you listen to me, you can become more aware of some things. The sound of my voice, the sounds in the room, even outside the room at times, and that's fine. Because hypnosis is not being asleep, it's about being aware. And you can become aware of things that might otherwise go overlooked or be ignored. The colour or colours in your mind's eye, the thoughts and images that drift through your mind, even your own inner voice, wondering this and wondering that. Just let it do its chattering. Let it wander as you continue to relax into that feeling, to that chair, understanding, and I know that you do, that you have a conscious mind and you have an unconscious mind. You might call it your subconscious or the back of your head, the back of your mind. That's that part of you that's running your blood flow, responsible for every breath, that runs every learned pattern of behavior that you can carry out automatically, almost without thinking. As you listen, your unconscious can continue to hear, understand, and respond. It's not self-employed, it's working for you. It just works autonomously most of the time. But today you're going to learn how to give it a new direction, better suited to you now. You can trust your unconscious and your mind drifts without boundaries, borders, or limits. And whatever you believe about your conscious mind, which has limits and boundaries, you have a super powerful unconscious mind. And as you continue to relax and drift in your thoughts, that's right. As you notice your breathing more at ease, now deeper and deeper with each breath. You can use your unconscious mind as a resource. You can learn from it and really have an experience, one that is most satisfactory. All that's needed to build a rapport with the unconscious is to have a line of communication, and the unconscious can communicate using movement. So it might be that you move your finger, or you might be that you nod your head or twitch to indicate yes. I don't know, because I don't have your unconscious mind. And you can hand responsibility up to your unconscious mind to communicate, because your unconscious mind knows what it's feeling. So I'd like to ask Kylie's unconscious mind to search through all the things in her life and find one thing that is of vital and utmost importance to Kylie's health, her life, her fitness, her future, her well-being. To find one thing that she'd like to change. Like Kylie's unconscious mind, to find one thing that she'd like to change that is of vital importance to her health, her fitness, her well-being, her future, her finance. And when it's made that choice, it's found that thing it wants to change today, I want you to give me the signal so that I understand. Okay, thank you. I've got a twitch. I've taken. I thank you for communicating with me in this and that. I'd like to ask Kylie's unconscious mind to hand over all the signals, that part of her that's responsible for the smoking habit, the part of her that has been running the smoking habit and behavior. And when that part is there and present and taking full control, I'd like it to allow that yes signal again so I can understand. maybe a nod of the head, movement of the hand. Thank you. I'd like to ask that part, if it continues to communicate with me in this way, that the unconscious can be respected and understood, and it's okay. I'd like to ask that part that's just been responsible for the smoking habit to allow Kylie to know in consciousness, in full consciousness, what it is that occurs, what the positive function of that smoking habit has been, and to go ahead and just let her know as clearly as it's able and as she is able to understand what it's been trying to do for her. Allow her to understand what it is that part has been trying to do, what its positive function is. And while that part lets her know, and when you feel like you know what it might be, what that positive function is, once again, you can just let me know the signal so that I understand. Thank you. Once again, I want to thank that part of the unconscious mind that's been willing to communicate with me in this way. I want to ask that part of Kylie, that creative part of Kylie, that part of Kylie that dreams and has ideas and makes plans and finds solutions for things, the creative problem-solving mind. I want to ask that part of Kylie, that creative part, I want it to go and run and work and flow and just come up with as many new choices, new ways of achieving that same positive function of the smoking habit, other than the one it's been using or the ones it's been using. And I'd like to thank that part that's been running the smoking habit for the job that it's been doing, because it's been doing such a great job, and assure it that it doesn't have to take any of the new choices, it doesn't have to give up the old behavior. All it has to do is allow the creative mind to come up with as many new choices as it can find. And as that part begins to search right now, looking for as many new ways, as many new attitudes, beliefs, behaviors, habits that can give the same positive function that the smoking habit has been doing. While that part searches, just imagine now as you listen to my voice, the chair you're sitting in, that really lovely soft sofa, is becoming a time machine. And that time machine can just whiz through space and time like time and space do not exist. And in a moment, I'm going to count to 3. And when I say 3, you're going to whiz back through time and space. The very first time you tried that cigarette, and when you were 15 and you felt nauseous and sick and dizzy, and you're going to take all the experience, all the learnings, all the wisdom that you have now as an adult, as a mother, to that younger you. You can take all that wisdom, all that learning, and you can tell that younger you whatever she needs to know. So on the count of 3, get ready. 1, 2, 3. You whiz through time and space all the way back, and you can see that younger you, that 15-year-old. And if it's a time before that, you can see a time before that, but the time when you're looking at your first ever cigarette, and you're looking at that younger you, and you see that younger you, and you drop down next to that younger you, you say, hey, you're great, you're brilliant, but you know what? You don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to do that anymore. You tell that younger you how incredible she is, what a beautiful spirit she is, what an incredible, wonderful, beautiful spirit she is, and just tell her about the incredible life she's going to have with her husband and children, and some of the things that she's going to do that she doesn't know she's going to do yet at 15. And tell her she doesn't need to make herself sick anymore. She can be well now. She can be healthy. She can make a choice to be healthy today. Just tell her that, you know what, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to fit in. You don't have to do that to be a part of the crowd. You don't have to do that anymore. And tell her, you are amazing. You are so wonderful and unique and special, incredible spirit and light, and give that younger you a big hug. Tell her that you love her and that you're going to look after her from now on, because you want her to be healthy. You want that younger you to be healthy and well, to live for a very long time, and to keep her looks for as long as she can, because she's so pretty. And you give her a hug and you tell her how amazing she is. So she doesn't need to tell her you can stop smoking whenever you want now. You can stop smoking today. And give her a hug and tell that younger you that it's okay. And when you can see that younger you smiling and happy, then you can step back across that line. Wave goodbye. Maybe that younger you tells you something that you've forgotten about yourself, something that you can do, some talent that you've forgotten, or some area, and maybe there's something you've forgotten that you're good at. And let that younger you just tell you, whisper something that you want to hear. And when there's a smile on her face, there's a smile on your face, because you know that you can look after her from now on. Step back over the line, get into the time machine, and you travel all the way back through time. You find yourself at the end of today, just knowing that you've made the decision, that decision that you want to make. You made the decision, and because the decision has come from you, you're going to find it easy to stop smoking, because it's your decision to stop smoking, and you're going to, because that decision has been made at a very deep level of your psyche. You've got to the end of the day, and you feel free, and you feel great. And you see yourself, you travel all the way a year from now, and you've been free of smoking for a year. You've had nights out, you've had fun nights out, where you've enjoyed a night completely without the thought of a cigarette. You've had stressful days in that time. You had stressful days where you found resources, that you managed, you coped, and you felt good at the end of it. You felt good by the time you came out, because you came out of it cleaner, fresher, knowing that you were free, you freed yourself. And because of that, those challenges have actually presented themselves as opportunities, because you've seen yourself react in a different way, a way that you didn't perhaps expect. Opportunities, all opportunities, and it's incredible how each opportunity allows you to grow into the person that you want to be, and each day you're growing healthy, and you see yourself a month from now feeling peaceful, feeling relaxed, having made this incredible change. You feel proud of yourself, your family proud of you, what difference you made to everyone's life, and you know it. You've already saved money. You save money, you feel healthier, you're going to the gym, you just feel great. And you see yourself talking to family or friends, and they say, you even offered a cigarette at some point, say, no thank you, I don't smoke, and the words just come out. And when those words come out, no thank you, I don't smoke, you're immediately filled with pride and happiness and a sense of peace. And it's easy for you to find those 5 minutes of peace, because you've got this internal peace now, because you just know you simply made the decision to stop smoking. You made that decision, and because it's at the very deepest core of you, it becomes easy for you to enjoy that decision, to feel freedom and release every time you think about that decision. And as that part of you continues to look for new ways, new ideas, new attitudes that do not involve smoking, and just to imagine now, as you listen to my voice, that your essence of you, your spirit of you, floats out of your body. You can just imagine it floating out of your body, and the physical you that's listening to my voice now, sitting in that chair, while the essence of you floats higher and higher up into the clouds, into the sky. And that I don't know whether you call it your spirit or your soul, or that part of you that isn't your physical you, that timeless part of you is looking out below at you, It can see you. And it can also see the whole of the earth, like the sea and the sky and the trees, forests, everything. And between that essence of you and the physical you can see or imagine an incredibly large archery board with all the different colour bands inside it. And in a moment, you're going to be fired like an arrow. You're going to hear the sound. You're going to be fired for the centre of that arrow. And in that bullseye, I want you to put every limiting belief you've ever had about your abilities to stop smoking into the middle of that bullseye. I want you to put all the doubts you've got, all the concerns you've got, anything that's been holding you back, anything that's been stopping you stop smoking in the past. I want you to put in the middle of that bullseye. Any cravings, niggles, anything that's making you think, no, I can't do this, anything, any limiting thought, any doubt, fear about coping, anything that's been holding you back or made things difficult. I want you to put in the very middle of that bullseye. And in a moment, when you hear that sound, you'll be shot like an arrow, right the way through the centre, and all that stuff, all that craving, all those limiting beliefs, whether it's to stop smoking or for something else. You're going to crush those limiting beliefs and understand that you are pure spirit and essence, and you can achieve what it is that you want, what you most want. You can achieve the most things that you want, and it's going to be joyful, it's going to be wonderful and easy, and it's going to, as you make this journey, you're going to feel this increasing sense of confidence. When you come out for the other side, I want you to come out into this feeling of self-love and abundance and confidence. So getting ready on the count of 3 to come all the way through that. 1, 2, 3. You come out for the other side. I want you to see the face of the people you love most in this world. Just see the love, see the colour that you feel for the people you love, and feel that love. And as you feel that love, just feel that disintegration of all those cravings are gone. This desire to smoke is gone. See the desire to smoke being crushed, completely disintegrated as you see the face of the people you love most in this world. And as you feel that love, understand the cravings have gone. You're simply going to stop smoking today forever, and it's going to be easy. You're going to let it be easy. Feel that love as you let it be easy. Feel the love for your family as you stop smoking today, and allow that ease, allow that peace to grow, that sense of being at one, of being free. Feel yourself having broken free, having run free from that trap. And get a sense of that, get a sense of you being free now. Imagine how great it's going to feel a few months from now. Just imagine how amazing that's going to feel when you have stopped smoking for 3 months. Imagine when it's the 6 months, or this time, this day, a year from now. Imagine how it's going to feel when you look at your diary or your phone. It's a year today, from today, that I haven't had a cigarette. And you're going to remember this experience. Think, wow. And remember how something you thought was going to be really difficult turned out to be actually really easy, because you've simply made that decision. And because that decision has come from you, it's going to be easy. You're going to let it be easy, because all thoughts of all entertaining ideas of smoking are going to go. It's just not going to be something that you entertain doing. And as that part continues to search for new ways, new behaviours, I want you to imagine that you're in the room of your unconscious mind. In your unconscious mind, imagine it as a space, a beautiful room. And there are doors. And one door is locked, or it looks like it's locked, but it's a heavy door. It's a dark door. And there's another door which is light. bright, and you're curious. This is your own unconscious mind. You're curious about what's behind those doors. So you open the first door, the heavy door, and it opens with difficulty. It's heavy door, and as you open it, it still looks quite dark, but you decide to walk through it. You want to see, you want to know. And as you walk through it, you see yourself still smoking. And I don't know whether perhaps it's, a week from now, and you see that choice. And as you walk through, looking at all these pictures, old pictures of you when you were younger, you see yourself having made the choice of somewhere along the line to carry on. You see yourself coughing, struggling with decreasing fitness. You see yourself standing outside, having a cigarette, pissed off with yourself, fucked off with everything. Maybe the room's getting narrower, the corridor's getting narrower as you walk down, and you can feel yourself being compressed in that space, in that dark corridor. You turn on the light. You're hit with a smell, and again you're irritated because you've chosen to carry on. You carry on smoking. I don't know whether maybe it was you see yourself on a night out, you're having a fag. You see yourself being irritated by being wound up by the up and downness of things. So you're outside having a cigarette, telling yourself it's okay, you're going to stop again another time. It's frustrating, and then you see yourself 10 years, and I don't know if it's 10 years or 15 years time, you're at a doctor's. You worry because you've got a pain in your chest. You've been coughing. You're hoping it's nothing, but it's really frightening because every time you smoke, you've been frightened about it. You've been frightened for a while. You think you're going to stop that time because it's just a bit of a warning. So you take it as a bit of a warning. And then again, the thing happens 10 years. This time, there's a horrible look in the doctor's face. And you know it's the kind of thing that you've been dreading. You've been dreading it at the back of your mind. You've been hearing it at the back of the mind. You've been trying to ignore it. All those times you've gone out for peace, it's been at the back of your mind. Back of your mind, no, it's going to be all right. But you've got to that point, you're still smoking. And you've got that diagnosis. And you have to go and you tell your kids. And there's upset because the kids are terrified. Your husband's terrified. You're all shit scared. And you can't help looking back that corridor and thinking, why did you do that? Why did you make that decision? That cigarette. And then you're back in the hospital. You see yourself in the hospital. You're waking up, and everyone's crying in the bed. And you don't know if you're here, if you're there, if you're going to make it. You don't know what's going to happen. But you're terrified. You don't want it to get to that. You can feel you can't breathe. You can't breathe, and in your fear, like a nightmare, you find yourself running back down that corridor, back out through the door, and you're relieved because you haven't made that decision. You shut that door. You shut that door now because you haven't made that decision. You don't want to make that decision. There's another door. There's another door. It's a light door. So you open that. As soon as you open it, you feel relief because you have freed. You feel relief because you've walked away. You feel relief as you can breathe in with your lungs. You breathe in air, and every breath you take, you feel gratitude because it's a breath of life. The very thing that you start off, your birthright when you were a baby, to breathe. Nurse or whatever, the midwife smacks the baby's bum, and the relief for the parent, the mother and the dad, to hear that baby take its first breath and a cry and a scream, because that is life, is breath. And you open that door, and every breath you're going to feel peace, because it's breath that gives you peace, it's breath that gives you health. And you begin to walk through that expanding doorway, and you see the faces of your pictures of yourself and your family, happy pictures, celebrating all the way back through time. And you feel joyful because you stop smoking, and you feel this incredible relief. And every day gets easier. Every day makes you feel happier. Every day fills you with pride. And then if you see, you open yourself wardrobe and you've got lots of new clothes from money you spent, you've been treating yourself. Obviously there's lots of things you can do with the money, but initially it's quite nice to buy some things you might not have bought with the money that you're saving. And you feel incredible. You see yourself at the gym, going to the gym, walking, doing the things that make you feel good, make you feel enlivened and happy. And the corridor's getting more spacious. There's more choices available to you. And you look around at all those choices. You see a happy family and you look incredible. 10 years on, you're still looking incredible. Your skin's beautiful. You enjoy spending money on your skin, on improving and maintaining, just looking after yourself. Your relationship's wonderful. You're a happy mother. And you just feel like you're in a really good place. You're so grateful to yourself. You're so happy with the choice that you've made. And you see yourself out and about with people, free, just exuberant and vibrant because you have energy. You have energy to live. You've increased energy all the time. You do see some 60-year-olds, some 70-year-olds, some 80-year-olds who are energetic and filled with life because they're healthy and they're happy and they've got a good outlook and they look after themselves. And that's you. You know that's you. You know you were always meant to be someone who lives a long time, who lives healthily, lives happily, who has time with their family. And it's only going to get better as you become more strong and healthier. You have those decisions. You can see yourself having made those decisions. You see the happy pictures, the happy places that you're in. And you come back out of that doorway. You're back into the room of your unconscious mind and you see some levers. I want you to put the lever for confidence. You see where the lever is on a dial. I want you to turn that lever up all the way so it's as high as it can be. And I want to ask that part of you, that part of Kylie that used to run the smoking habit, if it can look at all the choices that part of Kylie that dreams, that creative part comes up with. I wanted it to choose the 1, 2, or 3 new ways that the creative part has come up with, that creative part that dreams and has ideas and goes into flow. And I want it to choose 1, 2, or 3 new ways it believes are going to be the most effective, immediate, and easy to do, that doesn't involve eating more, or doesn't involve using any kind of chemicals or drinking more. When it's made those choices, and it can pick the 1, 2, or 3 new ways of being, or new behaviors or habits that it believes the most immediate, easy, and accessible. I want you to give me a signal so that I understand. Thank you. And now just go out into a world of fantasy and just see yourself trying out these new habits, these new ways, these new beliefs. See yourself going for any possible scenario, whether it's a time out with friends, having fun, relaxing, or a stressful time when something's happened and something's not gone your way, when the children have been difficult, or you've struggled with something, or getting up in the morning with that coffee. Just see yourself going through every single possible scenario. Let your unconscious mind run through everything, every possible scenario that may have been difficult, and see yourself trying out these new ways, these new attitudes, these new behaviors, and make sure that they're really going to work for you. When you know that you're happy, that this is going to work for you, that you're happy with the choices that your unconscious part has come up with, the part that dreams and fixes things has come up with, just let me know again by giving me a signal. Thank you. I want to thank that part of Kylie, thank all the parts of Kylie that have communicated and helped and make this get to this place. I want any of the other parts to make any kind of adjustments needed, any other parts of Kylie to make any adjustments necessary to allow this process to be fully integrated to everyone's happiness and peace, and to go ahead and let that happen. Let those parts integrate this change, these shifts of changes, the very core of Kylie. And as those changes become fully integrated, so that these changes can be acted on immediately, easily and effortlessly, on the essence of Kylie that floated up into the sky. And so all those changes begin to shift, all those changes that are going to make it easy for her to quit smoking today, and all this, it's going to let it be easy. I want that part of that essence to begin to travel all the way back down. So the essence of it is back in the same room, looking at Kylie, is making all those changes. All those changes are happening at the very deepest part of her unconscious, of your unconscious. As that part continues just to float and drift, understand that it's going to be easy for you. Just imagine bumping into a friend that you haven't seen in a while and they tell you, hey, you're looking great. You tell them, yeah, you feel great, and you're a non-smoker. And I don't know if it's going to be a day from now, a month from now, or a year from now, when you look back and you just realise you've been thinking of something else altogether, and you're just a non-smoker. You can say goodbye to that younger you that used to smoke, and say goodbye lovingly and thank her for everything that she's done for you, that fun that she's had. And be happy to let it go, to let it go and enjoy a new day. Because you will quit today. It's going to be easy, it's going to be painless. You're simply going to end this call feeling free, having made that decision, because the decisions come from you. It's going to be easy. I want you to understand that at any time you want, you can come back to this place of relaxation, total relaxation. And so just go over some of the changes that you've made, the shifts that you've made today. Just go over those shifts. Let your mind be fully processed having made those shifts, and understand that at any point you want to come back to this place, this space. You simply have to say the words relax 4 times. Relax, relax, relax. You immediately come back to this space of feeling relaxed and at peace. And you can use this at any point, any time, just by simply saying the words relax, and you're immediately going to feel the way you feel right now, completely free, with no desire to smoke. You can be a happy non-smoker by simply saying the words relax, 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 relax. And in a moment, before you drift back up to complete self-awareness, you can just go over the thoughts, images and understandings that have occurred. You can use later on, understanding that you have a conscious mind, a super powerful unconscious mind. And those two minds can learn a great deal from one another. From the time here, in the coming days and weeks, you'll find yourself growing in strength, enjoying that return to health and well-being, living in freedom. This is not going to bother you again. You can become more aware of your strengths, abilities, and the choices you have. You can enjoy exercising your right to choose. Seeing yourself out there when someone offers you a cigarette and you smile and you say, no thanks, I don't smoke, filled with a feeling of pleasure and confidence. Automatically a pleasure, a confidence as those words come out of your mouth. knowing you overcame something you previously thought might be difficult. It turned out to be easy. From today, it will be easy for you. So one more time, just go over it in your mind. That sense of yourself finishing this call today as a non-smoker, and let your unconscious go over it with you till you know that that non-smoker is a part of you all the way through. And only as quickly as the unconscious knows, has made the changes necessary to achieve your goal completely, free of the smoking habit today and forever, and your conscious mind has accepted the changes made, you will drift up to the conscious, wakeful awareness, one, feeling wonderful, with a calm confidence. 2, imagine energy coming through your fingers and toes, a lightness of being. 3, your mind and body has made all the changes to give you that freedom. 4, and allow you to achieve your goal easily and effortlessly. 5, fully awake, eyes opening, your sensations returning to normal, energy running through every nerve, muscle, fiber, wonderful sense of freedom, opening your eyes, have a big stretch. Now, how are you doing?
Yeah, right. It's really weird.
It is strange, isn't it? It's always strange. It's really,
Like,
really strange.
I still kept sort of thinking like, oh, I'm drifting again, or I'm thinking about this again. I'm like, no, actually, my brain is just
On the whole time.
thinking about what you're saying, but letting it do what it's got to do. It's really weird. And why I had to twitch my nose, I
It's
don't
so
know.
funny, isn't it? It's just so bizarre, isn't it? I was like, you never, honestly, you never
Like a
predict.
rabbit.
But that's what's great about it. You just cannot predict what anyone's going to do. I've got to stop recording.